Welcome to Social Heroes Marketing Commercial Reviews Episode 1.
I feel like anybody that's gonna watch us just stopped, right?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
they'll be like, what is this guy talking about?
All right, so these are the 10 best Super Bowl commercials. So here, it's the.
I got room. Hop in.
Okay. Save yourselves.
So this is Adam.
Critter's got an ugly mouth.
That's not its mouth. I just had this washed.
You guys go! I can't fit!
Get in, Brian.
Thanks, Mom.
Hey.
Howdy. Again?
Go wherever they need you. The all-new Highlander. Toyota. Let's go places.
All right, commercial number 1.
I mean, I love Kobe Smulders.
I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't love Robin?
Robin,
Right?
yeah. I didn't know what her name was.
Yeah, Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
That immediately got me attention.
Yeah,
Oh, Robin. Let me see what this commercial is about.
that is a big thing with a lot of commercials, like it's endorsements, so having famous people in it, which is a lot of what the Super Bowl commercials did.
That's true. A lot of them use famous people.
Yeah.
Very, very true. It was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it either. It was alright.
Yeah, I felt very like middle of the road too. It was like humor appeal, but it wasn't like funny haha. It was just like smirk almost.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I'll remember the Toyota Highlander like tomorrow.
Right.
Maybe
I don't think I would.
we give all these commercials a memorability rating, we should rate them on how well we think we'll remember them.
Probably give this a 4 out of 10.
A 4 out of 10.
You know, I'll remember the
Yeah.
commercial because of Robin, but I won't remember what the commercial is about. Like, what is it?
Gotcha.
What are they selling?
Okay.
I agree with that. I don't even know if I was like looking for a car. I'm not gonna be like at Toyota, be like, I want to see that Highlander because of that Robin commercial.
Yeah, true. Yeah, probably like a 5 out of 10. You're right. Yeah.
For remembering.
Yeah. For remembering.
For remembering.
Memorability. Is that a word? Memorability?
It is now.
It is.
Oh,
Just
yeah, fair enough.
I'll manually edit it in my dictionary.
Nice.
I don't have
nice.
Yeah, no, I'd go 4.
4.
I think overall, being a good commercial, I'd also go 4. I don't think it's great.
Yeah.
What would you do differently?
I would substitute the alien scene for something different because it felt too much.
Yeah, the only scene was a little. I like the cowboy scene in the first scene, and then
I
picking up
even
the
like
son.
picking up the son. I almost think that was the funniest because he was so
That was the funniest.
dramatic, but like everybody else is going something way more
Yeah.
dramatic than he was.
He was like, "Hey, mom." Yeah, that was the funniest one.
Yeah,
How long was that commercial? 30 seconds? Was it 60?
it was a minute.
Was it? It's a full minute, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next commercial.
Little Caesar's delivery. That's the best thing since sliced bread.
We got a problem. There's a new best thing.
New ideas. Go.
Travel size bread.
Sparkle bread.
Dear God. Run the numbers. And the numbers. Run them again.
Sliced bread is toast!
This is not happening. Everything is fine.
Little Caesar's delivery.
Best thing since
Sliced bread. I know.
That
Tell you now delivered.
pizza.
was a good commercial.
I think my favorite part about this commercial was looking at your reaction because you were like slowly like smiling stronger and stronger.
Well, I realized like sliced bread, the company, and then Rainn Wilson, from The Office, and then was a pretty good one.
So again, they're using another famous person to draw people in.
Yeah.
Yep. Famous and humor again.
Yeah. See, okay, so I don't watch The Office, so I didn't know who that was. I didn't immediately recognize him. So to me, has he been in anything else other than The Office?
I mean, small movies. I couldn't name you anything off the top of my head.
Yeah. So he's not. I wouldn't consider him a big time actor. So I think in terms of like a Little Caesars commercial, it's probably as good as this could have been. You know what I mean? Like because it clearly wasn't like a super high budget commercial. Everything was pretty simple. I'm sure they did most of that on like a small set. They didn't get the biggest actor. Like they didn't get what's his name? What's the name? Steve Carell from The Office. Like they got one of the smaller people from The Office, but it was still effective and it was funny. Like I
feel like you're low key offending all Office fans right now.
You are offending me very much. I think the people that are going to order pizza, most likely, I would say 8 out of 10 people have already watched The Office.
That's fair.
What do you think?
No, I agree. I know. See, and I'm like, I am with Nick. I don't really like. I'm not a big Office fan, but like, I know what that was at least. And I felt
You did?
Yeah, it's Dwight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I knew that much. Like I've seen a few episodes,
But not enough to be like,
I didn't know who that was at all.
I would easily say he is probably right under Kobe. What's your last name again?
Robin?
Kobe Smulders.
Kobe Smulders Robin. The only reason I'd say Robin's probably a little more popular is because Robin's in the Avengers movies.
Right.
I mean, that's fair. Right. So, I mean, yeah. So
But The Office is more popular than How I Met Your Mother.
100%.
that's undoubtedly true.
And a better show. Quick plug-in for The Office in case you want to hire us for future marketing.
But, I mean, I think they did a good job of taking a classic phrase of the best things since sliced bread and kind of putting a fun little humorous spin on that. Like, I think that worked very well.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like turn sliced bread, for example, or that model into something we can see, like a company.
Yeah. It's always just ever been an expression. So they put some visuals to that expression. And yeah, it worked. It worked well.
All right, so how likely are you to remember?
I would say, honestly, 9 out of 10. Because right now, I'm going to share this commercial with everybody I know that likes The Office, to be honest with you.
Are you going to order Little Caesars?
I will. Am I allowed to talk bad about the company?
No, but you could say all right, on the scale from 1 to 10, how likely are you to seek that product?
Barely one.
Because, I mean, like Sean said in the last one, like, it's not like that commercial necessarily made him want to go out and buy a Toyota Highlander, and he has a Toyota car. So,
Right.
Let me ask you this for both of you guys. What was that commercial about?
it was about Little Caesars delivery.
All right. I just want to know if you like grasped the fact that it's the delivery was the big part of it.
Right,
I
yeah.
didn't.
It's not about the pizza itself. It's about the
So
delivery.
you didn't realize that like
Yeah.
the commercial was about the fact that Little Caesars delivers now.
No, I didn't get
Right,
that at
'cause
all.
they-
I just
they-
thought it was just Little Caesars.
They didn't deliver before. Their whole stick was you
Oh.
come in and the pizza's hot and ready anytime you walk through the door. But they didn't deliver the pizza because it's already a not gonna say cheap, inexpensive pizza. It's only $5 a pizza. So, I'd imagine in terms of being cost effective, it wasn't probably very cost effective for them to deliver such
Right.
a inexpensive pizza, and now they deliver it. So it's like, oh snaps, here's this super cheap pizza that I can now get delivered to my house. Like I don't have to go get it.
And
The
the fact
best
that
thing since sliced bread.
yeah, that's what I say. That's the part that's the sliced bread is that it wasn't Little Caesars pizza in general. It's just the fact that it's delivered now. That's the best thing since sliced bread.
I wouldn't be able to get that on my own.
Yeah, that's why I asked it. Because
Yeah,
you
good question.
gotta like not pay attention. You gotta pay attention to what the commercial's telling you, and like sometimes you could just get distracted by the humor, which is why I would almost say this commercial probably wasn't that great because the humor almost masked like what the commercial is really about. Almost
Right.
with the first one too. Like it was a Toyota commercial. They didn't tell you anything about the Toyota Highlander. You're just distracted by the humor of it.
Are these the Super Bowl? These are the ones that were played last.
Yeah, this is
in the
2020.
last Super Bowl? Yeah. I don't know. I wonder how much conversions they've actually had from the commercial. Like, how many people went out and ordered Little Caesars delivery from the commercial being shot or
Yeah, I don't
until
know.
now?
I've noticed a lot of the commercials now. It's about the fact that they deliver. Like I've seen other ones too.
Hmm.
All right, Nick. The remember factor, Nick. What do you rate it?
7.
I'm gonna go 7 as well.
Yeah.
I would rate it higher if I thought the fact that the delivery part got across better. But I'd say like it's a 7 in terms of a good commercial.
Right. I guess I would remember the commercial and not the product itself, right? But maybe if I shared it with somebody that likes The Office, for example, then maybe like, oh, the Little Caesars delivered.
I mean, but that's important too. You know what I mean? Even if you don't completely understand what the commercial is about, the fact that you find it entertaining enough to share, I think is also still very effective.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole goal of, a lot of commercials nowadays is they don't, like, yeah, the Super Bowl puts more people in front of the TV than pretty much any other time of the year, but they still release these commercials early typically. Like a lot of these commercials you can find online before the Super Bowl even airs. So
Right.
they're betting on people. They're wanting people to share them as much as they can, because I'd imagine as a company now you realize that is the most effective way. Like TV might not be the most effective way to advertise anymore. It's putting it out online so that people can share it.
Right.
You letting the consumer do the legwork for them so they don't have to do it as much.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
What's that?
Reese's Take 5 bar. Chocolate, peanuts, caramel, peanut butter, pretzels.
Never heard of it.
Where have you been? Under a rock?
New to me.
What, were you born yesterday? Raised by wolves? Are you clueless? Head in the sand?
That's offensive, Trish. Yeah, Trish.
You from another planet?
Trish, none of us have heard of Take 5, so who looks stupid now?
Reese's Take 5, the best bar you've never heard of.
I'm not the biggest fan of that commercial. The last part is good.
Yeah.
Simply for the imagination factor of like, okay. So they did like what the Little Caesars did, which was take a bunch of phrases and add visuals to them. And then the last one, they just gave us the visual for us to imagine the phrase. So I thought that was funny, but
they might have overplayed the phrases.
That's how I felt. Like they overplayed the humor. And this, all right. So, what was the commercial for?
Well, now I'm paying attention. Reese's Take 5, but if I'm looking at it as a consumer, not reviewing a commercial or just watching the commercial, I mean, give me a chuckle.
Do you know, like the Reese's Take 5 bar has been out for quite some time. Like it's not that new of a candy bar. It's been out for a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like I had them last year, and I guess no, that was of this year. I had them last year. So like it's been out for a little bit. Like it didn't just come out. So I guess the whole point of the commercial was to draw attention to something that they make that's a little less well known. Like people know about obviously Reese's Cups and Reese's Pieces. They're like, here's another Reese's bar that we make, because there's like 4 or 5 Reese's candies in total. There's the regular cups, Reese's Sticks, Reese's Pieces. There's like a breakfast bar they make, and then there's like that Take 5 bar. So I think the whole point is not to sell a new product, but to bring attention to a product that already exists that maybe they want to push more.
Right.
It's got like pretzels in it and stuff.
That might be effective. Like, I didn't know that existed, but I feel like that's also not making me want to go out and seek it.
Right.
What do you think would you have wanted to see more of the bar, like know more about it?
Yeah, I think knowing more of the bar would have helped because I still don't know what's inside of it. I'm just imagining like another chocolate peanut butter kind of bar.
It's like chocolate, peanut butter, like caramel, pretzels, like it's a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, but you don't know that from this commercial.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like for this commercial, it would have been better if they just put the Reese's cups, just because, you know, they're only bringing attention.
Everybody knows Reese's.
Right, but they're only bringing more attention to Reese's. Like, if they put the Reese's cup in there, you're likely to you're recognizing it right away. But the Take Five is like, oh, they're just trying to sell a new product. Whereas what?
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying if they were to just say, hey, this is, you know, a Reese's commercial. But oh, Reese's, okay. I'll be able to appreciate the commercial more for its humor versus selling a product.
So you think they should have used something that they already make that's more well known to draw people in, and then pitch the bar that people aren't aware of? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, if they say Reese's Cups and here's a commercial for it, I'm just gonna remember Reese's Cups. I'm just gonna remember Reese's in general. So next time I walk in the gas station, oh, Reese's, and then maybe I'll see the Take Five Reese's bar. I don't think it's the best effort to sell that bar. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's peanut butter, peanuts, pretzels, caramel, and chocolate. So there's 5 things, 1 bar. That's the slogan.
I mean, that's, actually, if they brought that up, that sounds good.
5 things, 1 bar.
That actually sounds really good. If they
said that in the commercial, the 5 things, 1 bar. I think that's the issue with it is they almost went. So they went the route of like. At least this is how I felt about it. I felt like went like a very typical candy bar route where like Kit Kat does like give me a break and like Twix does need a moment, and then they had this one and it seemed like their bar like that, like when you're taking a break, like this is the bar that you grab, but they didn't like tell you what the bar was. They just focused on like the humor aspect, but the humor to me didn't land at all.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is just kind of
so nothing landed in
silly.
Commercial.
Yeah. But I will say that they did successfully. Actually, I wouldn't even know if I'd say that. I think if I was not like analyzing the commercial right now, I wouldn't even think I would have really focused in the fact that this was a different candy bar. I would have just saw Reese's.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think if they put in what it was, that would have made the difference.
I agree.
I feel like the only thing I really remember from the ad is the dude with his head up his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the funniest, best part of the commercial.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've been rating these commercials on rememberability, the word we made up. Is that a made-up word? Anyway. But, I mean, the truth is, me and you, Sean, have seen all of these commercials before. We're watching them again. And I can say I didn't remember that commercial until it popped back up, and I was like, oh, yeah. And even the best moment of the head up his ass, I didn't remember it until like a second before it happened. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, that did happen. So I guess, like, if I had to really rate it on rememberability, like, it's like a 1. Because I remember the first part of, like, what have you been doing? Living under a rock? I remember that. And I think it's just because it was the very beginning of the commercial. But everything in between that and the dude with his head up his ass, like, I didn't remember any of it really.
Right. I'm giving it a 2. I'm a little more gracious than you are, but I do think it's not great.
I gotta give it like a 1 because I didn't remember it, and I definitely couldn't tell you what it was about. Like if they cut out the part, the beginning and the logo at the end, like I probably wouldn't even remember what it was about. Or if you described it to me,
like you said,
like, hey,
we've seen this commercial, and like I couldn't tell you that I knew Reese's had this bar, and I've seen the commercial.
Oh, that's true. That's a big deal.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably like a 0.
Who's the gracious one now, Sean?
Street, where you at?
All right.
I'm at a 0.5 because I'm not gonna remember it, and I will not share it.
Okay.
It's just.
All right.
All right, next one.
That's it.
That's it. We have a visual.
We're witnessing history. Water on Mars.
This changes everything.
We just made it.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Mars water.
Oh, I thought it said Mark's water.
Fresh sparkling water in seconds. SodaStream.
I gotta say, I don't know what it is about that commercial. I do find it funny.
I thought it was good.
That was
I
good
think in
too.
terms of like bringing awareness to that product. Their goal is bringing awareness to the product even exists. It has to be, right? Because they're not really telling you what it does or like bragging about features. It's just like, this is a thing. If you don't know what a SodaStream is, like, here's something funny to make you want to Google it. Yeah.
I would say this though. I did immediately forget the name, and you just said it, so I know it's SodaStream now. But like immediately, I forgot the name.
Fair enough.
I think
it would
be
super
effective
quick though.
in the fact, yeah, it would be effective in the fact that if I was like in the market and I was at like, I don't know, like a Walmart, I might see it and then remember it or recall it. I think it would effectively do that, but I forgot the name immediately.
How long was the commercial? Was it 30 seconds? It didn't even seem like it was that long. It seems like it was like 15.
It did have Bill Nye in there.
Yeah.
Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Which I feel like that was
30 seconds.
Unnecessary.
Is it 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Bill Nye was unnecessary for that commercial.
That's
what it's about, man. You got to draw people in with something.
Guy.
I mean, so what? It had nothing to do with him talking about anything about science.
Right. It had to do with water on Mars.
Yeah, but
that's your memorability factor right there, is them bringing in somebody who's recognizable.
I mean, I almost forgot he was in it. I just keep remembering Mark's water.
So that humor landed for you, though.
It 100% landed. And I already knew SodaStream, so it just kind of brought a positive, positive view on SodaStream because of that.
Yeah, I knew what SodaStream was, too, beforehand. But, again, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Sean? Like, what do you think the goal of the commercial was?
It was
Do you think it was to
build
to
awareness of
show
this product
people
existing.
Okay, so you think it was more of an existence thing than it is like a, hey, this is out, like.
Yeah, because
it wasn't
was
demonstrating really
appeal.
what it does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was still humor appeal. It wasn't rational, right? Like it wasn't selling you on what this device does. Sitting here, I couldn't exactly tell you what it does, right? Like, does it make it?
We just know it requires water. Yeah, we just know it requires water.
But it was funny, and then it built awareness that this product exists. It's very much in the same way as the Reese's commercial, but I think this one was more effective because the humor didn't distract from the fact of the product, right? Like, this was still all about water. It didn't veer off that fact. It was just like, what was this guy going to do? This guy did something to this famous water, and he put it in the SodaStream.
Let me ask you a question. If Nick didn't tell you the name of the company and you walked into a Walmart, would you have possibly noticed it on the shelf? If Nick didn't tell you the name of the book.
I think I would have noticed it, yes.
Okay.
Which is very effective too. I mean, that's a big part of marketing in general. It's not necessarily like having these like commercials and then you remember it and that's why you go on the product. A lot of it's like when you're in the store, you see the product and you just have that like recognition of it You might not even like. It's sometimes like a subconscious thing, right?
Right.
You might see that Reese's bar, and you're not thinking of the Reese's commercial, but you just want that because you've seen it before.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
I think we lost Reef. Oh, there he is.
Right.
Sorry, I got disconnected.
All right, let's hit memorability. Yeah, I give it like a 7.
Tough one. Maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, I was thinking 6. It would be higher if I was able to recall the name of the product immediately after.
That's fair.
All right. I feel like we should also be rating how good we think the commercial is, and I'd give it a 7 and good.
Yeah, I think it was good too.
7 is good. Is a good rating because it wasn't like amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
What does home mean to me? It's my sanctuary. It's the one place I can let my guard down. It's where I can just kick back and be totally comfortable in my own skin. You know what I'm saying? Rocket Mortgage understands that home is where I can be myself. That feels pretty darn good. Oh.
Home is where you feel the most comfortable, and Rocket Mortgage helps you feel comfortable financing that home with a personalized and convenient experience centered around you. Rocket Mortgage. Push button, get mortgage.
You got this.
Take it.
Okay, all right. Good job.
Okay, I've seen this commercial.
I just
plenty of
noticed
times.
I've seen it too. I saw it before the Super Bowl. I just realized that was his wife. I never knew that was his wife.
I
I noticed that the first time too.
I
From
didn't notice
the
that.
Cosby Show. I don't know her name.
I didn't know. But I mean, I've seen this commercial plenty of times, and I did never realize it was Rocket Mortgage. Never. I think he was way too distracting for the commercial. Everybody knows who he is.
I think in terms of like remembering the commercial is very memorable, but
not for the product.
For what? I have no idea.
Not at all.
Like you said, I've seen that commercial a few times now, and every single time I'm like, oh, this is about a mortgage company?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not just a commercial about Jason Momoa, like, because that's what it seems like to me.
That's
like
exactly what it
Jason
is.
Momoa is like advertising himself as like, hey, I'm this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big ass dude. Like, that's what I feel like he's advertising.
Yeah.
And like every time it's like, oh, it's a mortgage commercial. Oh, wait. And in terms of like, I mean, I get that a lot of these, and we got to have this conversation before, Sean. I get that a lot of these companies nowadays, they've been around for so long, and like it can be so obvious what they do or the products that they have that their advertisement has to take more of a creative aspect to it, or else it's just like, here's another mortgage commercial. Like, we know Rocket Mortgage gives out mortgage loans. Like, we don't need that information. It's more so the route of how can we get people to want to think of us when they think, oh, it's time for me to get a home loan. Oh, I remember seeing that cool commercial about Rocket Mortgage. Let me Google what their rates are.
Right.
So I get that that's where they're trying to go, but they did. Yeah, they did a terrible job with it because it still won't make me think of that company. Like,
right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a terrible commercial. I don't even think it's funny. It's like cringy.
Yeah.
Like when he like takes his arms off, like I'm just uncomfortable.
I mean, it got my attention. If I were to do the commercial, I would probably do it more serious, where somebody's went to actually buy a house.
Yeah, I think
it could have been Jason Momoa buying a house.
Yeah, that would have been
memorable.
That would have been great.
I don't know if humor was the right way to go with it. And I mean, it could have been. It could have been effective, but the way they did it, no.
I mean, if you're putting it on in the Super Bowl, half your audience is already drunk anyway, right? So you're going to grab their attention with you know, the actor or the famous person.
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
You're not gonna remember Rocket Mortgage.
No, not at all. But if it was more like Jason
this conversation is more of an advertisement for Rocket Mortgage because we've said it so
Well, let me tell you what Rocket Mortgage does.
Dude, I feel like if they had went the route of, like, if they wanted to still be humorous and use Jason Momoa, if they went the route of like Jason Momoa trying to get like some crazy house or something, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Maybe if they were just like, you know what, let's make this a combination. We know you're an Aquaman, like he's trying to get a mortgage for a house in Atlantis or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like a house underwater. Then it's like, okay, that's humorous, but it also relates to what the commercial is, like what the company is. So it's like
a step farther too, like he's going to all these other mortgage companies and be like, these rates are so high, like what? And then finally,
what's going on? Yeah. Let's pitch Rocket Mortgage.
We can't give you a loan for a house under the sea, and then Rocket Mortgage is like, no, we're here. We're here for you, man. We can give you whatever you want, like Jason Momoa. I feel like that would have been a better route to go. But hey, you know, we weren't in that board meeting. You know what I mean? Our ideas weren't on that whiteboard when they put the commercial together. So maybe next time they will be. Maybe next time.
All right, one more time. What was I rated? I went 1.
Are we rating the commercial?
Yeah. For how good the commercial is, I'm gonna say 1. I'm gonna say for memory of the product, I'm gonna say 0.
Yeah, for memory of the product, 0. For actually remembering the commercial, I give it like a 9 because I remember it beat by beat, but I don't know what the fuck it's about other than Jason Momoa. Like, the heck it's about, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'd also give it a 9 for remember, but quality commercial sucks. I mean,
what about, because I feel like it's got to be remembering the product though.
0. Remember
that's true. That's a 0 then. Yeah, that's absolutely a 0.
All right. Next up.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you, too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
Tell Mama what you need.
I love that commercial.
That was a good ass commercial.
It was spot on. It's spot on, man. It's spot on. I know exactly what it's about.
Yep.
The humor landed. It wasn't distracting humor, but it wasn't like over the top, like fall out of your seat funny. But it wasn't like cringy or like, oh, this is just bad funny.
Yeah.
Like it was a decent amount of funny. There are gonna be people who find it hilarious, and there are gonna be people who find it like, oh, okay, that makes me smile a little bit. It's relatable. Everybody has a mom. You can't not have a mom. If you're here, you got a mom. And they said T-Mobile and 5G like 18
and it
times.
works everywhere. 100% got it. Works in the
I know
club,
exactly.
in the car.
I know exactly what that commercial is about.
They sell Samsungs.
Yep.
And
they did famous person again. They did the humor right.
No.
I'm gonna say
it works in the kitchen. It works in the kitchen. Great, man. And it's like, yeah, it's relatable. Like people find themselves in weird places all the time, and they're like, my network don't work. But now she's like, no, it works everywhere.
And
Tell
it's
your mom.
Yeah.
They're the only ones doing it. Verizon's not doing it. Sprint's not doing it. T-Mobile, 5G everywhere.
Yep.
10 out of 10.
Nailed it. Yeah. I give it a 10 out of 10.
I'm always going to remember T-Mobile 5G now.
Yeah. They nailed it.
That was a good one.
Next
Best
commercial.
Quickly, get the big blue bag. Big blue bag.
this the future? This is the present, future Bill.
Here's your order, Bills.
Excellent.
Here are your groceries.
That's all coffee, right?
Coffee.
Whoa.
Where are they?
Yes, I do. I am quite aware they are lost.
I don't know.
You'd expect Walmart to have a high budget commercial like that.
Yeah. So this is my thing with this commercial. I think with a certain demographic, it hits better.
Yes,
Certain
I
age,
agree.
yeah.
The nerd in me loves it. But
Right.
I'm trying to think of like the average person.
I also think with a nerd a little bit older than us, it would be better because I don't know who all of those characters are.
Right.
Like I had Men in Black, I had Star Trek, I had Star Wars. It's about
Did you recognize Flash Gordon?
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Yeah, I recognize Flash Gordon, but there was
Like
definitely
on Mars.
I don't know.
So I think the people that are already shopping at Walmart will find this commercial, or would shop at Walmart, or it nailed it for that point of view. Like it's.
I mean,
don't
What
think it
was
was
the commercial? Sharif, what was the commercial about?
delivery and pickup, or pickup, curbside pickup, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty good for people that are going to go shopping, right? Oh, Walmart has pickup. It has all these things for you to remember it by. Oh, Toy
I
Story.
also I struggle not to compare it because they had one like this before, and I don't know if it was
Right.
what they aired it or whenever they aired it, but it was like the same idea, but it was all famous cars. And I remember
Right, like the Batmobile pulled up,
the Ghostbusters car, the Back to the Future car, all pulled
the
up.
DeLorean, yeah.
No, I've never
And I
seen
think
that.
that one almost lands better because it makes more sense because it's cars like picking the things up.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to do like a direct comparison with this one, but I mean it's okay. Like I know, like watching that, I think I would have gotten the point that like, oh, Walmart does curbside pickup.
I feel like the message would have gotten across with a lot of less money that they had to spend.
True.
That's true. I mean that's a fair point because that was one of the first things that caught my eye about the commercial is that this is a high budget commercial. You know what I mean? Like they didn't cheap out on this. This isn't.
Right.
It's not the Little Caesars commercial. Like this is a Walmart commercial. Like it's high budget. So I mean, you're right. They probably could have gotten the same point across just as effectively without spending as much money, but they're Walmart. I mean, I guess
Well,
they
you're
got the
welcome.
money to. Yeah, you got the money to spend. Spend it, I guess.
I would rate it for remembering it. It's got to be not that much, man. Maybe 6 or 7. Even though it's a good commercial, I'm not gonna remember this commercial.
Yeah, I agree. Like 6. I think I remember the other one, like you were talking about, Sean. I think I remember that one more than this one.
I definitely remember that one more than this one. I'd say in the fact that it's tough. I want to go 8 because I think after watching that, I would remember that I could get stuff picked up at the curb by Walmart.
Is it because
the
this
whole
is the
point.
second commercial? Is it because
It
this
might
is
be
the
the
second commercial
second.
you've
It
seen?
could definitely be the repetition of it.
Okay.
I'm still gonna go 8. I mean, yeah, I definitely think like if we were like 10 years older, it would have landed better because we would have been like enjoying those characters more. But yeah. All right.
Well, they also had like Lego in there and stuff too. That's for the younger people.
Yeah, but Lego's an older company.
Yeah. that's
Like
fair.
when we were
Fair enough.
kids, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how it is now, actually. So
Fair enough.
It's still pretty big, I think. It was still pretty big a couple of years ago.
What, Lego?
Yeah, because all those Lego movies, like Lego Batman, was huge.
right, the Lego
Right.
games, right?
Dude, people will forever buy Lego.
Right.
I'll buy Lego now.
Really, that was just a Lego commercial, guys. It wasn't even a Walmart commercial.
Oh shit! You can buy Legos at Walmart, is what they're saying, and pick them up.
There you go.
There you go. All right, next up.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Wishing I was watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you?
Like you, wishing I was watching the game, having a bud.
True. True.
Yo, where's D-Unit?
It's a smart world. Don't be stupid about how you get around tonight. Use Uber promo code WHATSUP to help get home after the game. Must be legal drinking age.
That was close.
True. True.
Great.
What did you say?
I think it's great. I think it's great. I remembered it. Like, as soon as the first thing came up, I immediately remembered this commercial.
I remembered it too. What's crazy is that I remembered it. I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of remember this commercial, but I have no idea what it's for. I was thinking it's for some kind of home product. I think what makes it so good is the message of the commercial of like, it was just a very creative way to say like, don't drink and drive. Like, be responsible.
All right.
Wow, that's really good. I like that.
Got all the elements, like it named the brand right in the beginning, got your attention with humor, and then it sent the message as you get they have your attention.
It tied in like things that are relevant now to like a more dated reference. Like that "What's Up" reference is like old as shit now.
Right.
But they use, smart home technology to bring it back. So they tied in something new and like relevant to something like a bit more dated to bring it into like a good message. And that's what I like about it. Like, it's a good message of like, hey, again, so this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, we know Bud, Anheuser-Busch makes beer. Like, no one doesn't know that. Like, you make beer. We know what Bud is. We know what Bud Light is. Like, they don't need to make commercials anymore that's like, we make some of the best beer around. Like, it's not going to make more people buy Budweiser. It should not at this point. Like, either people are going to buy Budweiser or they're not, but everybody knows what it is. So instead of going that route of like, hey, drink our beer, they're like, hey, drink our beer, be responsible, like, smart world, don't make dumb decisions. Like, flawless. Great.
If you do drink our beer, here's a discount code for Uber. So
right. Like, what? So they tied that into another company too? Yeah. Great.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you nailed it right in the head. I feel like, to me, it gives you like that brand recognition. Like, you might be in the store looking at Budweiser and thinking, man, this company like cares about you. Like, they just gave everybody like a promo code for Uber so they get home safe. Like, who does that?
Yeah. That's an emotional connection.
Yeah, it gives you it gives you that emotional connection. It was like, I think it was a good balance between emotional and humor appeal. Like, it like made you connect, but it was also kind of funny in the beginning, like the whole "What's Up." I think all around it was just like 10 out of 10, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Next commercial.
So you got Bud Light
back there.
Bud Light made a seltzer?
Hey, Bud Light made a seltzer?
I wonder what it tastes like.
Only one way to find out. What are the taste buds saying?
Tastes great. No Bud Light, just hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Light and refreshing. It says light and refreshing.
Let's get that instead.
Wait. Post Malone doesn't drink seltzer. We drink Bud Light. Everybody knows that.
Why not try something new?
Bud Light. Seltzer. Seltzer. Bud Light.
Season 1 was much better than season 2.
Guys, we're incredibly rich. Let's get both.
Both. Got any pretzels?
Bud Light seltzer. Unquestionably good.
Just no.
You said no?
I'm not a fan of that one.
Man, I disagree. I really like that one. Yeah, I really like that one.
I'm not a fan. I feel like it was a bit dramatic in his delivery. So here's the opposite of the last Bud Light commercial, right? The last Bud Light commercial was, we make beer, here's something different about it. This one is actually presenting a new product of Bud Light Seltzer. I remember that commercial for Post Malone, and I remember it for the being jerked back and forth thing, but I didn't remember what it was about at all. Like, when you played it, I was like, oh, this was about the seltzer. Okay. Yeah, sure.
I didn't remember. I remember the whole jerking around. I remember him like destroying the store, knocking everything over, and the whole like brain thing. I didn't remember the product at all, and I didn't remember the product at all so like poorly that even when they said the Budweiser or the Bud Light in the beginning, I was like, oh, it's a Bud Light commercial, and then they said the seltzer, and then like not until that point did I remember that the seltzer is really what this commercial is about. So for its memorability for the product, I straight up have to give this a 0. I also don't think it's that funny. I think I'm distracted by the fact that he's destroying the store, and I don't think it's even that funny.
Really?
Yeah.
I completely disagree. I mean, for the commercial, for the product, I'm not going to remember because, I mean, I barely know what Bud Light is anyway, right? But for the commercial itself, I think I would remember it because they put in little details. So, like, the people inside Post Malone have the same tattoos as
had all the tattoos. I thought that was cool, too. I thought that attention to detail was good. But let me pitch this at you, right? So, when he's being jerked around and he's destroying the store, do you think it would have been more effective if most of what he was knocking over was actual Bud Light products versus just anything random in the store, right? So we saw him pick one up and drink some of it. Good, right? But then he puts it down. It's no longer in his hand. Why not just leave one in his hand and then go, Post Malone doesn't drink seltzer. He drinks Bud Light. The first jerk is him grabbing a Bud Light. Now he has both in his hand.
Yeah, if they did that, if they grabbed both in his hand, but like for the stuff that he's knocking down, I didn't even pay attention to what he was knocking down. I just know a bunch of stuff. Like if he were to knock down a bunch of Bud Lights, I would have remembered Bud Light, right? But if he did grab both and he was like fighting between the seltzer or the regular one, and he said get both, the product would stick more in my head, I think. But the commercial for me was still funny enough for me to remember this commercial, especially because Post Malone too.
So like, I think the reason why you don't remember what he was knocking down is because it wasn't any like real attention drawn to it. But if the commercial starts off showing you that it's okay, Bud Light, we immediately see Bud Light cases in the freezer. We know, all right, this is a Bud Light commercial, right? We see him pick up the seltzer, Bud Light seltzer. Now he has a Bud Light seltzer in his hand. He has a Bud Light beer in his hand. The stuff he's knocking over, we see is Bud Light. So the moment, like the quick flashes of like him hitting stuff, if all we kept seeing was like Bud Light logo, broken Bud Light bottle, like Bud Light spilling out of this bottle, I think that would have been effective because we already have it in our mind as a Bud Light commercial, and then we keep seeing it over and over and over again. So it sticks in your head like Bud Light. Or even if they flash like, here's the cans of the seltzer on the floor, here's this flavor, lemon lime or fruit punch or whatever the case may be, it may not have been like I remember exactly every flavor they have, but one might have stuck out to you like, oh, they got a lemon lime one? Like, I would love to try that.
Yeah, maybe if they put the product more into the commercial, that would obviously. But breaking the Bud Lights might put maybe a little negative image in my head subconsciously.
Okay.
But again, like from my point of view, I'm not gonna remember the product at all. Like the commercial only.
Which I would argue is like, yeah, then that's worse. I think it's worse for you to remember the commercial.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. But I still liked it.
I agree with what you're saying, Nick. Like I think that would make the commercial better. And I don't know. I don't know what it is about me, but the whole time I'm watching the commercial, I just kept thinking of how annoyed I would be if I was that dude behind the counter and Post Malone came into my store and then knocked everything over and then got up and then just walked like he didn't just do all that stuff to go buy his both Bud Lights.
That's what was hilarious.
I just would have been thinking, like, those cases are going to cost you more than like $12 each now, right? You do understand this? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the things too I remembered really quick was the really quick flash to the guy behind the counter. He was just like, I thought that was hilarious.
Okay, so did you see what I mean? Like that quick flash, that's all it took for you to remember that.
Yeah.
So if it was quick flashes to like the products, then I feel like that would have helped that stick in your head like Bud Light has a seltzer now.
Right, I agree with you. It's a shitty commercial crappy commercial for the product itself. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I keep thinking of what you're saying, Nick. Like, I could imagine him holding a case of both Bud Light and the seltzer, and then him jerking those both around. And I think that would have been better.
That would have been great. Yeah, fighting over which one he wants.
Right. All right, next commercial. This one's going to give you the feels.
This is it, man.
Hey, Google, show me photos of me and Loretta. Remember, Loretta hated my mustache. Remember, Loretta loved going to Alaska and scallops. Show me photos from our anniversary. Remember, she always snorted when she laughed. Play our favorite movie. Remember, I'm the luckiest man in the world. Come on, boy.
Absolutely flawless. I love that commercial.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, emotional appeal to the max.
It's
I swear I get
perfect,
goosebumps.
man.
Like, I think it's great. And honestly,
it gets better every time I see it. I'm just like, wow, this commercial is so good.
I remember when I first saw the commercial in my head, I was like, who needs a commercial for Google? You know, like, who here doesn't know what Google is? But I definitely
Google is.
realize that you could tell Google to remember things for you.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was a feature. That I could, like, remember Loretta's favorite movie is this movie, and then, like, repeat it back to you later. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, they nailed it for the product pitch. Like, they absolutely nailed the product
Everything,
pitch.
man. The emotional appeal brings you in. He says, "Hey, Google," every 6 seconds, so we know exactly what it's about. And just all of that, man. And even how they end it with when it's, like, going through, like, the stuff he's already told it to remember, and it's different from the stuff that he's already mentioned previously. So we see that this is, like, a continuous thing. And then it's the last one with the quote of, like, you know, don't miss me too much and get out of the dang house. And now we know, like, she's gone. So dude, it's great. It's so great. Because originally I thought it was a old man with Alzheimer's. And I'm like, this is good. It still would have been good. That still would have worked. But the fact that it's this old man who lost his wife, and he doesn't want to forget, you know, like, he wants to remember all these little things and a little help with the little things. Like, it's perfect, man. It's perfect.
I think it sends a message too that Google can spend so much money on any commercial thing. They can do whatever the hell they want. And they chose specifically this commercial. That kind of tells me that, oh, Google kind of cares about this stuff. They kind of care about these people. They don't have to go all flashy. They just need to send a message. That was pretty cool.
That it's actual human beings who create this product.
Actual humans, yep.
That it is an artificial intelligence, but it's still human at its core. And I think And that's the other thing. Like, you can dive into so many different layers with this. Like, we could easily have an hour-long discussion about this, but we're not going to, but we could. And it's like, dude, it's great. Like,
10
definitely
out of 10.
gets me 10 out of 10 easy,
10 out of
man.
10.
I remember that commercial. I sent you that commercial, and I was just like, this is flawless, dude. Like, that's the kind of stuff we will make.
Agreed. Ready?
Hey, close out of that advertisement. There you go.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Did you see that? Yes. Are you kidding me? Now I gotta go watch this.
Not now. It's the Super Bowl.
Not now. Well, then when? Ugh.
Oh, you know when you should do that? Later.
Oh, later. Yeah. Well, when is later? Like after the game, or is that too late? During the ads?
Nah, later.
During the Pepsi halftime show? I know! What if I spend my entire life waiting for later? Or what if later never comes?
Charlie, relax. Super Bowl now, laundry later.
It's setting in!
Excellent shot.
Ah, well, this can't be later. This looks like earlier.
It's 14:36.
I need it to be later. What do you want?
Look, a stain!
That's good. That's good. You gotta stay in your shirt, too.
Classic.
Is it still the same commercial?
That today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow works.
Coming up next on The Masked Singer.
Time out. Excuse me, I'm sorry. What happened to Super Bowl now, laundry later? Now we're talking turtles and llamas. You know what? No, it's fine. I'll do it later. I'm gonna do it later. After the tiger and after the robot and after the weird big thing. Emily?
Charlie? You look different.
Yeah, I got it clean because it's later.
Oh,
They worked.
good job, dear.
All right. I think it immediately got my attention with Charlie Day, and the stain. So the first thing I thought in my head was,
why don't you click to something else? Does not have that as the background. All right.
I thought before he even brought up the product, I thought it was just gonna be the Tide pen, right? For like, oh, really quick, let me do this while the Super Bowl commercial's on.
Who's the genius who puts a
Sorry.
I think
Keep going.
And then they brought Bud Light, which I was just, what is this? What's going on here?
That's exactly what I thought too. I was like, wait, what's happening? What is this a commercial for?
That was a little confusing. That might have thrown the commercial off, to be honest.
You know what? I guess at the core of it, it's a Tide commercial, but it's clearly like some kind of super commercial where they decided to advertise Tide, Bud Light, the Super Bowl itself, the Super Bowl halftime show, which includes Pepsi, The Masked Singer, Wonder Woman 1984, like all of this together.
I hated that aspect.
Did you say The Masked Singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was some like Inception-ass advertising, like a commercial within a commercial within a commercial.
Yeah.
It was. It definitely was.
And I think it sits better because I'm pretty sure like through the Super Bowl, it wasn't like all in a row like we just watched it. It was like these were several commercials throughout
okay.
the Super Bowl. Which I think definitely makes it, because by the end of the Super
Way
Bowl,
better.
you definitely got the fact that like Tide Pods, like your stains can wait. Like it's not an emergency. Like these pods are so great. I can do this after the game. I can wait until I'm an old man. I can
wait until after the match. You know what? In that aspect, it is an effective commercial.
Yeah, it makes it way better.
When you think about it that way, of like, I could see that. Like that first part is in like the beginning, the first quarter, and then you get the second quarter, and then you get a halftime commercial, and then you get a third and fourth quarter part of it, and it's like, oh, here's this dude again, and then you see him as an old man, and it's like, I got it clean. And then
Yeah.
they put the stain on the shirt again, which is hilarious. It's like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that definitely works a lot better.
Yeah.
It can wait.
Works a
Like,
ton better.
okay.
I wonder how much money they spent on all those commercials.
I don't know, man. Well, the benefit was a lot of those smaller pieces were like 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds.
That's true. Man.
And from what I've heard, I think it's like $1 million for like a minute time slot during the Super Bowl. And it can go up significantly depending on, is it?
Yeah.
I know
now
it
is.
can definitely range depending on at what point of the Super Bowl you want it to air, but that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I thought last time I heard it was 3 million.
So somewhere in that range.
Yeah. For product memory,
I remember it's about tied. Like, I think that's
yeah.
I think product memory is 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I guess I figured it was tied before they even showed tied. Like, I just knew it was tied.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way.
They did a great job bringing Charlie, because Charlie Day, in the Super Bowl, Always Sunny in Philadelphia was one of the top shows. Everybody's gonna, whoever watches the show, I guess, is gonna watch because of Charlie.
Right. All right, so 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was a good commercial.
Yeah.
It was a little distracting. It was like you said, like a commercial within a commercial within a commercial within a commercial. But I think it also played. I think it still went well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like, again, I think it was extra kind of like dramatic because we saw it all in a row. But I'm sure like when you saw it through the Super Bowl, I didn't feel that way.
That makes it weird.
I would have been more like
yeah.
you would have been sitting there like, oh, this is a Bud Light commercial. Wait, nope, it's a Tide commercial.
Yeah.
How hilarious would that have been to watch it like in the Super Bowl and just at the end of the Super Bowl?
Sure, at the last one, you're probably like dying.
Yeah.
All right, well, this was episode 1 of Social Heroes commercial reviews. Check us out next time, guys.
Yeah.